Okay, we can be here for about 2 hours and I can tell you everything that's different, because pretty much everything is different. But there are some key areas that are very important for motorsport enthusiasts out there and car enthusiasts in general. We've added a whole bunch of new cars, okay? And as before, every single one of those cars are accurately modeled, how they look, how they sound, and how they behave. So we have new cars. Now, we had some critical marquees missing before, right? That people were asking for and we just didn't have the licenses. Now we have Porsche, Ferrari, all the key guys are in there. McLaren's new cars. We have exclusives like the 720S that's standing outside. You get to experience that in the sim as it is in real life. So lots of awesome new cars, cool content across eras. So all the way back from the 60s to modern day cars. Classic Le Mans, classic Group 5, awesome stuff out there. So if you're into cars and into all sorts of cars, there is a ton of new content in there. We've dramatically reworked our physics system for the cars. So where the tires come into play, where the suspension system, the drivetrain, all of those things contribute to the actual handling of the car. Most of that has been completely reworked. Our tire model is significantly enhanced. We have this system now called Rip Grip, which effectively is what happened when, as you're driving along, the tires are rolling normally. Now you may lose control, so the car starts wanting to go sideways, right? You're basically spinning up. Now what's happening is the tire, where it makes contact with the road, is going through like a chemical change because of the heat, the pressure on it, the bits of rubber tearing off, and we simulate that in detail, because what that gives us is a very progressive slip curve, which means that the handling of the cars now become far more natural and predictable, and that is a huge deal. And the way that the power is distributed to the wheels via our updated drivetrain system is significantly better as well. And then the other part of the simulation is, of course, getting the environment simulated accurately, because you have this amazing car, but it makes contact with the road, and if the road isn't simulated properly, then it all just breaks down. So we have this new technology that the new iteration of our LiveTrack technology. This has been coming for more than a decade that we've been working on it. We've had minor iterations, major iterations. We are now at LiveTrack 3. So LiveTrack 3, what that gives you is we have an accurate physics-based simulation of how the environment works and how that affects the surface on which you drive, and also how the car that you're driving affects that surface. So as I was talking about little rubber pieces breaking off, right, the marbles, that will now build up dynamically on the track surface of the main race line. So if you do risk going off the main race line, you'll have the risk of being on an area where there's lower grip. And this is persistent. So if you go out there and you do a race weekend and you go and do a qualifying session and you put down a lot of marble, you go into the race, that will still be there. So you have a running track, right? You have a track that's actually ready for you know, as it was from the previous session. And the same goes for our weather systems and how that manifests itself in the track surface. We have accurate system that does fluid dynamics of how rain falls, how that saturates the ground, how that then pulls up and run onto the track surface and builds up dynamic puddles exactly where they would be on the real track, because our tracks on our laser scan, all the new ones we bring into the game, and revisiting previous ones as well. We update them so that they're millimeter accurate on the track surface to the barriers. We use photogrammetry for stuff outside the barriers so that you have a visual cue where you know when you're driving along, there's a tree over there, and when I see that tree in line with that, I need to hit my brakes because then I can hit the apex. Of course, now if you go do it in a simulation and the tree's not in the same place, or it looks different, it throws you off, it breaks immersion. So we make sure that all of that is accurately modeled as well on all the new track, and that includes 24-hour night and day cycle, so in the middle of the night it looks accurate where the lights are on and all of those little details. Then in game modes, we've expanded our existing game modes like career. We've added new game modes for online areas like online championships, which allows you, in a nutshell, to have a traditional career style experience online with your friends. So you can set up a whole championship season, invite your friends, set up the rounds, set up whichever sessions you want per round, whether you want qualifying or not. You can do things like force mandatory pit stops. You can force things like rolling starts, manual cool down lap. So if you finish the race and you won, you can do your own little victory lap, pull the car into the pits yourself, which you can now also do fully manual. So you have full control over your own car, driving it into the pits. Your little pit stop lollipop man will pop out there and go, here you come, and you need to make sure that you see it, make it stop in time. The pit crew fully animated, fully detailed, accurate to each motorsport. pit crew will be there working on your car, doing the thing, fixing it up, changing the tires, which also can be completely in your control, what compound you want on the car. And then off you go. Again, you have to drive it out of the pits yourself. So all of that you can set up in an online championship, and then you can team your friends up into teams. You can match them up. So you can have, like, say you have 10 friends, you can have 5 of them in two teams of 5, or 2 guys per team, as it is typically in real world motorsport. And then they're scored based on their team, based on that. They get notified when the next round is. All of this just adds so much more detail to the multiplayer experience as well. So much to talk about. We're so excited about what we've done with Project Cars 2. It looks amazing, the new weather systems, the seasons that we now do, where you can go different times of the year to a different location, and it will be winter, snowing, or it'll be autumn, and because of where the sun is in the sky, it'll affect the track temperatures differently. Those level of detail that nobody has done before, and is nowhere near what we're doing. We have some of the other games in this space finally catching up with the stuff we did in Project Cars 1. We're happy for them, but we're way beyond that now. We've moved on to a level of complexity in the simulation and accuracy that makes it authentic, way beyond what anybody else does. So totally stoked about Project Cars 2. 22nd of September on all the platforms, street date, and yeah, I think the guys are going to love it. We're so excited to get it out there in people's hands.
Nice. All right, 2 quick questions.
Sure.
One, with Xbox One X and PS4 Pro, will Project Cars 2 run at 4K 60 on those platforms?
We can confirm on the Xbox One X. On the PS4 Pro, we are internally still working to make the most of the platform. We don't yet can confirm what that will entail, but it will be whatever we can manage on that platform. It will be better than on the PS4. So, okay.
Last question, have you announced how many cars will be available in the game at launch?
Yes,
Okay.
it is. It's slightly flexible depending on little things that may still change, but it's roughly 189 cars, roughly.
Alright.
And those are individually different model cars. They're not the same car with a different paint job on, as some people do, and then count those as cars. If we did that, our car count will be between 700 and 800. We're talking about totally different car models. Yeah. So, and we have the largest track roster of any racing game on console by far, and we have this dynamic environment system of ours working on all of them, unlike the other guys.